All right. It's been a while since we last did this, but we have a few new champions since last time. So let's talk about who is going to dethrone every main roster WWE champion. Before we get into it, though, make sure to hit that button to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I'm trying to post every day here, so come be a part of it. Don't you want to say you were here first? Now, let's talk wrestling. First off, we have the women's tag team champions. We got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I don't know if it happens this week. I don't know if it happens in 2 weeks. I don't know if there's this like fatal 4-way tag team match at War Games. I don't know, just something. I don't know when it happens, but I absolutely think that Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss should and will lose their championships to the Kabuki Warriors. Like I said, so they have a match. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have a match in this upcoming Monday Night Raw against the Kabuki Warriors. I don't know if it happens here. It might not. But I do think that this is ultimately who they lose their championships to. I think that Charlotte and Alexa have definitely elevated these titles. Great. I think these names are going to come up again. I think that they are due for singles pushes for other titles. The Kabuki Warriors will probably continue their feud with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, where they will eventually win the tag team titles from them. So I think that switching the titles just kind of opens things up a little bit better for the women's division. And I think that that is the way that WWE should go with these titles, and I think the way that they will be going with these titles. So, the Kabuki Warriors to dethrone Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. We didn't get the men's. I forget how they differentiate these titles. The men's tag team titles on SmackDown, right? The ones that the Wyatt Six have. So who's going to dethrone the Wyatt Six? I think it has to be the MFTs. I've mentioned this before. The MFTs just aren't doing it for me, and I don't think they're doing it for a lot of you either. And I think that the way to make these guys really feel heelish, to really feel like a threat, is drape them in gold. I think that that's the way to do it. I think that give me any combination of guys. I don't know. Tonga Loa and JC Mateo for the title. Give them the titles, right? I have other plans for some of these guys. Give them the tag team titles. I don't know. Give this group some gold so we can take them a little bit more seriously. So the MSTs dethrone the Wyatt Six. On the Raw side, the tag team title, again, the Raw tag team titles, I don't know what these titles are called. The ones that AJ Styles and Dragon Lee have. This is a hard one because they just won it a couple weeks ago. The only team that they've feuded with is the Judgment Day. Please don't put it back on the Judgment Day. This is a face tag team of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, aka AJ Lee. So this face title, this face tag team, I feel like they have to lose it to a heel tag team. Again, there isn't a thing happening yet, but I feel like just to throw a name out there, let's say the New Day. The New Day to dethrone AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Do I have a reason for it right now? No, other than their heels. And AJ Styles and Dragon Lee need to lose it eventually, especially if we know this is AJ Styles' last year, right? We need him to have some really cool singles matches. So we need this tag team to have its time and then split off into the sunset. So, the New Day to dethrone AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. We'll see. All right, our newest champion is Chelsea Green. She's our new first-time, two-time WWE Women's U.S. Champion. I absolutely love Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green can do no harm. Unfortunately, I don't think this title run is going to be very long. I think she loses it almost immediately against Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross has been lurking in the background of Chelsea Green's backstage segments. She's kind of just been there watching this whole thing. I do think that, again, just like with the MFTs, we need more titles on the Wyatt Six. I know that isn't the number one motivation, but any team looks cool draped in gold. So let's give the women's U.S. championship to Nikki Cross. I think having these two feud and like making like a 3-match feud, why not, right? Like this, like it would be awesome. Like the creepy factor with Nikki Cross and Chelsea Green's like overacting, I think would be absolute entertainment. Put it on Nikki Cross. Let's see what happens. Book it, WWE. I don't know what else to say. I just think Nikki Cross is going to dethrone Chelsea Green. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know when. But that's my pick. On the men's side, the men's U.S. champion, Ilya Dragunov. This one I can't figure out. I have two choices because they've been teasing two different people to Ilya Dragunov. They've been teasing Tama Tonga, right? Like they had that whole backstage face-off for 2 weeks now between Tama Tonga and Ilya Dragunov. It might even be more, honestly. So I feel like that's something. But then also, they've been teasing Tommaso Ciampa for 2 weeks now, where last week, or whatever, 2 SmackDowns ago, he came out during Nathan Frazier's entrance to try to cut the line. And Ilya Dragunov was like, no, this is Nathan's shot. And then this most recent SmackDown, he tries to come out to answer the open challenge, and Ilya Dragunov is like, nah, I'm going to give it to Johnny Gargano instead. So I feel like this is building towards something too. So I don't know which one of these two guys is going to eventually win the U.S. Championship. But if I had to pick one, and it's for the same reason that I've said before, is because we need to drape the MFTs in gold. I think that Tama Tonga should absolutely dethrone Ilya Dragunov, and I think that that's where we will eventually go. Maybe Tommaso Ciampa dethrones Ilya Dragunov, and then Tama Tonga wins it from him. No, I think Tama Tonga is the person that will dethrone Ilya Dragunov for the U.S. Championship. On the Raw side for the mid-card titles, Dominik Mysterio being our Intercontinental Champion. Right now, Dominik Mysterio is about to feud with his dad again. They're probably going to have a match at Survivor Series War Games. I don't know if it'll be for the title or not. If it's not for the title, I feel like Ray's going to win that match. But if it is for the title, and I do think it will be for the title, we're going to get Dominik Mysterio winning that match again. So I don't think that Dominik loses it to his dad. And I think eventually, and maybe this is a WrestleMania thing, maybe Dominik holds it for a while. I think that eventually Dominik Mysterio will lose this championship to Sheamus. This is where Sheamus finally gets his Intercontinental Championship. Sheamus is already feuding with the Judgment Day, right? He's been feuding with Finn Balor and JD McDonough. He's had matches with one or both of these guys. I don't really remember. I think just one. I think he had a match with JD McDonough. Then he also got involved in their title match, in their tag team title match last week. So he's already in the mix with the Judgment Day. So I think eventually he feuds with Dominik Mysterio, and we get that match for the Intercontinental Championship where Sheamus finally becomes a Grand Slam champion and wins the Intercontinental Championship. Deservedly so, by the way. He absolutely has to win it. And I think it's time. I think it's time to put it on him. On the women's side of the Intercontinental Championship, we have Becky Lynch, who's been our champion for a while now, who's absolutely elevated this title, who won it off of Bird Lady. I can't remember her name. It's whatever. All right. She won it. She's had it for a while. She's in the middle of a feud with Maxine Dupree where she's lost twice. Once by count out, once by DQ, I think it was. But she has lost twice to Maxine Dupree. I don't think she's going to lose her title to Maxine. I really don't. Lyra Valkyria, that's Bird Lady. She won it from Lyra Valkyria. Anyway, I don't think that Maxine Dupree is going to be the one to dethrone Becky Lynch. I think that the person to dethrone Becky Lynch is the person that we all want to dethrone Becky Lynch. And I don't know where she's been, but I do think she'll come back soon because we know this wasn't a one-off match. We know she got signed for a while. So I think AJ Lee is the person that eventually dethrones Becky Lynch. We continue this feud because of everything that happened with CM Punk and Becky Lynch's hot husband. I think we continue the feud between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch eventually. I don't think it happens before War Games. I do think Maxine Dupree is going to be the person in War Games. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. So I think AJ Lee is the person to dethrone Becky Lynch. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. So, moving on to our main titles, right? The big guys, the big titles. The women's and men's on the Raw and SmackDown side. Again, I don't know what these are called. But Jade Cargill is our WWE Women's Champion on Friday Night SmackDown. She just became champion 2 weeks ago. Last week. No, she just became champion last Saturday. Saturday night's main event. She's about to have a match with B-Fab, and I think that B-Fab is going to dethrone Jade Cargill. I'm absolutely kidding. There's absolutely no chance that B-Fab is the person that takes this title from Jade Cargill. Again, it's a very new championship. There haven't been any feuds established. That face-off we got this most recent Friday Night SmackDown, though, I think Charlotte Flair is the person to eventually beat. I do think that Charlotte Flair is the person to eventually beat Jade Cargill for this title. This is why I think that they need to lose the tag team titles. This is why I think Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair need to lose their tag team titles. I did originally have Alexa Bliss being the new U.S. champion, the new women's U.S. champion, but I think Nikki Cross has kind of already been in the middle of it, and I think that it's going to be her. Eventually, it will be Alexa Bliss, which is why I think that breaking these two up and having them just go on their singles runs again, I think it's the right call. But, man, you know what? That's how they get Alexa Bliss into the Wyatt Six, is feuding with Nikki Cross for the U.S. title. Man, I'm better than WWE at booking this stuff. So, anyway, back to Jade Cargill. I do think Charlotte Flair eventually beats her for this title. I think it's going to be a while. Again, maybe a WrestleMania thing. It's definitely the match we all want to see. It's definitely not going to be a one-match feud. So, Charlotte Flair to dethrone Jade Cargill. On the men's side, Cody Rhodes is our WWE Undisputed Champion. He's been feuding with Drew McIntyre. I want Drew McIntyre to dethrone Cody Rhodes. I do. I absolutely do. I don't think they're going to put it on Drew McIntyre. I don't know why WWE refuses to pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre again. Listen, prove me wrong, WWE. I want to see Drew McIntyre as my champion. But unfortunately for Drew, I do think that the eventual new champion, new undisputed champion to dethrone Cody Rhodes is going to be Randy Orton. And it's going to, that this one will absolutely be a WrestleMania match. And I don't think Randy's the one that's going to turn heel. I think Cody Rhodes is the one that's going to turn heel. I think there's going to be I think Jacob Fatu is going to come back, reveal Cody as his attacker, eventually leading to this match with a babyface Randy Orton and a heel Cody Rhodes, where Randy Orton wins the title off of Cody Rhodes. The match that we've all been wanting to see. So, Randy Orton to dethrone Cody Rhodes as the new undisputed champion. On the Raw side, we have Stephanie Vaquer as, I think it's the Women's World Champion, I think is what it's called. So, we have Stephanie Vaquer as the WWE Women's World Champion. She hasn't defended this title yet. No, that's not true. She defended it against Raquel Rodriguez? Or maybe she has a match. No, she has a match next week against Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know. I'm not sure whether or not she's defended it. Not important. She's not going to lose it to Raquel Rodriguez. That's just not going to be a thing. I do think that the eventual winner, I think she's holding on to this title until Liv Morgan comes back. There aren't many feuds for Stephanie Vaquer to have on this roster. she's a super over babyface, so it needs to be against a heel. I think she's holding on to this title until Liv Morgan comes back, whenever that is. It could be in a year, it could be in 2. Maybe she's going on a historic women's title run, but I think that the eventual winner has to be Liv Morgan. It will be Liv Morgan. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. So Liv Morgan, whenever she comes back from her injury, will be the person to dethrone Stephanie Vaquer. And then finally, we have CM Punk, our men's world heavyweight champion. See, I think I know these. Our WWE men's world heavyweight champion, CM Punk, who doesn't have a title match scheduled as far as I can remember, but he's feuding with Division like they do. And I think, especially with how Seth Rollins was a champion after CM Punk won the championship, then he cashed in on CM Punk, then Seth Rollins was the championship, then Seth Rollins was attacked by his own faction, and then vacated the championship that CM Punk eventually won. I think that the person to win this title, to eventually dethrone CM Punk, cannot be anyone other than Bron Breakker. I think the story that WWE is telling only leads down this route. The only other person could be Bronson Reed. I don't think Bronson Reed wins the title before Bron Breakker. I do think he eventually wins the title, but not before Bron Breakker. So the person to eventually dethrone CM Punk is going to be Bron Breakker. That's why Bron wasn't in the Battle Royal for #1 contender. That's why he hasn't had a chance to fight for this title. We're absolutely building towards this. WWE just wants to make him look even like more of a badass. So when that match eventually happens, CM Punk doesn't look like this dude who just lost against one of the rookies, right? Bron Breakker is already an absolute badass. I don't think that there's any chance of CM Punk looking weak against a Bron Breakker when he eventually loses, even if that happens tomorrow. I'm not saying it will happen tomorrow. I'm saying even if it did happen tomorrow. But I think that the eventual winner will be Bron Breakker. It has to be Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker deserves it, man. Him and Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins have been carrying Monday Night Raw for a while. Why not? Let's put it on some new faces, man. Let's build new stars, WWE. So Bron Breakker to eventually win the title from CM Punk. And that's everyone. Those are all of our main roster champions. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I got wrong. I know you think I got some stuff wrong. Let me know what you think I got right. Let me know. I don't know. Are there any new stars coming on to win some of these? I think I was pretty spot on. My favorite is, like I said, Nikki Cross beating Chelsea Green for the Women's U.S. Champion, eventually feuding with Alexa Bliss for that championship. Alexa Bliss probably beating Nikki Cross, but maybe Nikki Cross sacrificing herself for Alexa Bliss so that Alexa Bliss can join the Wyatt Six. And that's how we get Alexa Bliss in the Wyatt Six. I think I booked this better than Road Dogg. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me know what I got right. Since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to drop a comment about any of these things that you enjoyed. So, anyway, as always, until next time, go touch grass, you nerds. Peace.